In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Samsung Galaxy A56 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We finally have the Samsung Galaxy A56 5G in the house. And a huge shout out to Wireless Place for actually providing this review unit. If you guys do want to go ahead and check out their website, I'll leave a link in the description down below. They of course have this phone and many other phones on their website as well. And if you use code TechRight at checkout, you guys can actually get 2% off the entire store. So if you're looking to buy a phone, they have some pretty good inventory. Again, use the link in the description and the top comment down below. All right, everyone. So obviously this is a little bit of a late episode. I did order this phone like over a month and a half ago. It did get lost in the mail or stolen or whatever, but we finally have the device in our hand right now. Obviously for the specifications on this device, for the base specifications, we have 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage. And it also goes all the way up to 12 gigabytes of RAM and of course 256 gigabytes of internal storage if you guys want to go ahead and go for that variant. I believe I have the base variant though. Obviously 5,000 milliamp battery inside of here, pretty hefty battery, and the brand new Exynos 1580 chipset in here. So excited to see that. As far as the display goes, of course, Super AMOLED display, 120 hertz refresh rate, HDR10 plus, 1200 nits HBM, and 1900 nits peak brightness. This is also going to be a pretty big display at about 6.7 inches, and we have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. And for all the people asking out there, we have always on display on this device as well. We're going to be running with Android 15, and we have 6 major operating system updates, and of course we have the new One UI on here. So we have some new artificial intelligence stuff on here, stereo speakers on this device, and as far as like our charging rate, we have a 45 watt wired charge, so 65% in 30 minutes and 100% in about 68 minutes. So we have some pretty solid charging speeds on here. Let's go ahead and open this box up though. Really excited about this one. And of course, this comes in a few different colors. We have pink, we have olive, we have graphite, and we have light gray. We have the pink in hand right now. Excited to see this color in person. Look at that. Wow. This looks like a nice premium phone right here. This is supposed to be coming to the United States. I'm not sure when it will be coming because it's not at Best Buy or on Amazon for like the GSM Unlocked version. Hoping this does come out soon though. Putting that phone to the side, of course, we have a bunch more stuff inside of here. We have our SIM ejector tool. We also have our quick start guide inside of here, our safety and warranty information, and some other literature, as well as our USB Type-C to Type-C data cable. No charger brick inside this box. Still really sad to see that. Miss you, charger brick. All right, guys, so first and foremost, this is the back of the phone. We do have a glass back, so this is a very premium build, and we do have some shiny aluminum sides on this. I really do like the color on this device, and honestly, compared to my Galaxy S25 Plus, this is looking a bit nicer. Look at this. Look at that. It looks great. I really think this does look great. And of course, we're going back to that old form factor that we saw on like the Galaxy Note 10 and older phones, of course, but I think it looks really good. Honestly, I like the look of this phone better than the Galaxy S25, but of course, back of the phone, pretty plain Jane. We have Samsung at the bottom of this phone, and of course, we have our camera module right there, and we have our LED flash to the right side of that. Now, as far as like our camera setup, we of course have a triple camera setup on the rear. Our main camera is going to be a 50 megapixel wide angle camera. Our secondary is going to be a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and our third is going to be a 5 megapixel macro. This is going to be capable of 4K at 30 frames per second or 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. We do of course have panorama, we have HDR, and we have the best face feature on this camera as well. Now going to the right side of this phone, we do have that key island design right here, which I actually do like. It feels pretty comfortable in the hand. On the right side, we have a volume up and down rocker. Just below that, we have the power button right here. Top of the phone, we have a noise canceling mic setup. Left side of the phone, we absolutely have nothing. And of course, at the bottom is where the most of the action happens. We have our SIM tray right there, which sadly does not support SD card expansion. So if you guys want more storage for photos and videos on here, you guys are gonna have to get either the bigger storage option or a Google One subscription, which kind of sucks. We of course have our USB Type-C port right there, and to the right side we have our speaker. Let's go ahead and take this off. But honestly, so far, this does feel nice in hand. This feels very, very premium. I would go as far as to say this feels more premium than the Galaxy S25. So yeah, definitely liking the look of this. Let's go ahead and boot this phone up though. We're going to go ahead and set it up, and we'll see you guys here in a second. All right, guys, so it shows us what's new on here compared to the last Galaxy A55. First and foremost, for Galaxy AI, we do have circle to search. So all you do is touch and hold the home button, then circle or tap text, images, or QR codes. Then, of course, our new features are going to be customize your app in widget style, which is great to see. Make folders big. Stay on top of important tasks with the Now bar. The Now bar is definitely something you're going to want to use if you get in the Galaxy A56. We have group your alarms, save exposure settings for each mode, create freeform collages, auto trim videos, easily connect to nearby devices. So those are all of the new features that we're going to be using on the brand new Galaxy A56 5G. And this display is looking great, man. I really, really do like the look of this display. This looks beautiful. Okay, guys, so getting inside of this phone for the first time, display, of course, looks great. The bezel at the bottom, I don't think is going to be an issue for most people. Some people may notice it if you're going from like the Galaxy S25 Ultra or something like that. But as a Galaxy S25 Plus user, that's my daily driver currently, this looks great. I honestly really can't notice too much of a difference between the display and of course like the performance is like fluid. This is 120 hertz refresh rate. Of course, the biggest difference is going to be the cameras, and it's going to be the chipset that we have inside of here. We have the Exynos 1580. I'm very excited to see how that goes with this, but so far this is looking nice. I like the way the display looks. I feel like it has a whole new look with UI 7.0 right here. As you guys can see, we have 6 years of major operating system updates. There's not really many downsides to this device. I feel like if they release this in the United States, drop this phone at like $399, it'll sell like hotcakes. Drop it at a price tag that, you know, people have to buy this device at. You know, the build, love it so far. Absolutely love the build of this device. But going around the UI, I really do like this UI on this phone. Really feels smooth. And even from someone going from, now listen to me guys, I paid $900 for the iPhone 16 Plus. I cannot tell you how frustrated I was with typing going from like a 120 hertz refresh rate phone and going back to 60. The refresh rate was terrible when scrolling, with typing, with all that. I like this phone already better than the iPhone 16 Plus, and this is way cheaper than that device. I know this is kind of like not a crazy good formal review of this phone, but I just wanted to share that experience with you guys. So going into the camera right here, of course we have our photo, we have our portrait mode, we have our fun mode over here as well. When we go to video, of course we can go up to 4K at 30 frames per second if we go to UHD right there. Going to more section over here, let's go to more. We have our pro mode, pro video, night, food, panorama, macro, slow motion, hyperlapse, dual record, which is basically recording your face and the subject that you're pointing the rear facing camera at, and of course single take right there. And this is where your hole punch camera, your front facing camera is going to be at right there. Let's go ahead and test out that fingerprint sensor. I haven't even tested that out yet. Okay, not bad. Let's test that out again. Okay. Not the quickest in the world, of course. You're going to have to hold your finger on there. Let's go and test the right hand. Let's go and tap it. Okay, so it's not one of those fingerprint sensors that you could just tap and go. You got to hold it there for a second. But overall, decently accurate and responsive. Definitely like what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, the biggest difference is, of course, going to be that Exynos 1580 processor compared to, of course, the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor that you're going to get with the S25. But yeah, going through the UI, everything looks good. I definitely like the look of the new UI in here, UI 7.0. We're of course running Android 15, just to go ahead and verify that for you guys. And we're going to go all the way up to Android 21, which is crazy to see. Samsung, I feel like, is one of the only companies out there giving us these very, very good update promises. So let's see if they hold their promise for this. I'm sure they will. Great to see it. Love to see it. What I do want to go ahead and do is test out this camera just by taking a little photo real quick. Then we're going to go into the speakers, the video. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this phone thus far. All right, guys, so we have Super Mario Bros. On the Famicom. I did just come back from Japan, so this is definitely something I had to pick up. I think this was like 300 yen, so like $2 or something crazy like that. But look at that. Great colors, great clarity. Not a bad pick right here. Of course, we're going to go deeper into this phone's camera this week. So excited to do this. And I think what we're going to go ahead and do is do a comparison between the S25 and this device. I think it's only right with the cameras, videos, and photos and stuff like that. But so far, looks good. It looks pretty color accurate as well overall. Maybe a little bit darker on there. But excited to go ahead and test out that camera. Now let's go ahead and test out these speakers and test out the video and see how that sounds. Also, guys, haptic feedback on this keyboard, it feels pretty much the same as a flagship device. So absolutely zero complaints right there. Very, very solid. And I think that's in part by the aluminum build and the glass back. Of course, very premium build right here. But let's go ahead and listen to some tunes right now.
Music is the reason why I stay. A true melody will fix a melancholic heart. The music is the reason why I stay.
Alright guys, so the speaker quality is actually very nice. We have some very good bass on here. I don't really hear any tin on here either. So we have a premium listening experience on the Galaxy A56. The only thing I would say is it's not crazy loud. Not that it needs to be at all. I feel like most of the time people are using their device with earbuds, and not like you're going to have any issues really with this. It gets decently loud, but I don't think it's like as loud as like the Galaxy S25 or anything like that. But it's nice. I like the speakers on here. They sound very premium, and for this price tag, it's definitely a premium offering. Again, stereo speakers on here, so you're not going to go wrong, especially if you're like playing Call of Duty Mobile or doing video games and stuff like that. If you block one of the speakers, the other one is going to fire right at you. So decent speakers on this device. And of course, this is capable of HDR, so going into advanced settings on YouTube, we can look at this at 2160p, 60 frames per second, HDR. Let's see how this looks, y'all. Alright, so beautiful crisp display on here, beautiful colors. I have zero issues with this display. It looks great. Love it. Love to see it. Great job, Samsung, on the Galaxy A56 display. This is really, really a nice one. Alright guys, so that was my first impressions on the Galaxy A56 5G. Again, I'm hoping this does come to the United States. That would be beautiful to see. However, so far for an international version, or I guess you can say a GSM unlocked version, it is an overseas variant though. This looks great. Of course, it's not going to be the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor or whatever, but we're going to do some more gaming tests, photo tests, video tests, and all that type of stuff on here. But so far, this is a very, very solid offering, especially considering we're getting 6 years of major operating system updates. So if you guys want a phone to last a while, this is definitely going to be something that you guys want to get. We have a very, very decent and premium build on this device, an exceptional display. We have some premium speakers, and I think all in all, this is a pretty solid device so far, and I'm pretty sure the camera is going to end up that way as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy this video, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. This has been Safan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.